Hi there, I'm Rebecca and a really warm welcome back to my channel PumpkinBecki. In this week's video we're going to be refreshing these long hay basket window boxes that go on the front of my house. Let's get started. So the first thing to do with a planter like this is to work out if there's anything you can keep. I have a greenhouse, it's unheated, but I have managed in the past to overwinter some things in it. So I'm going to try and take out this geranium. I've got some dianthus, and there's some bacopa in here as well. That's probably all I can save, but we'll see once we get into it. I've got two of these baskets, and I've got a nice selection of new hardy things that will keep the baskets looking nice over winter. So probably the easiest thing to do with the things I'm definitely not keeping is to just pull them out. So I've just taken that dianthus out and popped it into a little flower pot, and what I'm going to do is prune this back quite hard. Definitely want to take this flowering stem off. And I've got lots of nice shoots coming through. I also clean out some of these older looking leaves. That should keep quite nicely in the greenhouse over winter. I mean, it's a dianthus, it ought to be alright outside all the time, but because it's come from a container and I haven't got anywhere for it to go right now, this is the best option. I'm just using my hands to fertile around in the soil and lift plants out. As it's going into its dormant season, it won't need an awful lot of goodness, so don't worry about putting new compost. I'll just take the tip out of that one because I can see a side shoot. This is the bacopa. It's a really nice trailing plant, I love it. If this was out in the landscape, I would just be letting it do its thing over winter. It may or may not come back, but because I want to refresh this basket again, like the dianthus, I'm just going to see whether pruning it back I can keep this over winter in the greenhouse. I know it seems harsh, but it is actually better for the plants. You don't need a greenhouse if you've got a cold frame or perhaps a really sheltered spot in the garden that you could put some fleece over and just protect plants that way. We've had a really long summer here, and in fact we've only just had our first couple of frosts, so things even like the dahlias are still hanging on in there and flowering, so I'm really loath to pull all those out, but start thinking about overwintering those as well. The last thing to come out of this planter is this little geranium. Didn't put on a huge amount of growth actually, but that's fine. Maybe it'll do better next year. And again, I'm just pruning this back to nice healthy side shoots, taking off any spent flower buds. I'm removing the first few inches of soil from this planter, but no more than that. These pots, just like the ones I did the other week, won't really do an awful lot of growing this season, so I'm going to pack them as full as I can, and what they are is what they are. Now I'm just going to use this hooky tool to just kind of loosen up the soil that's left inside, just to help the roots get down. Now we're ready to replant, I treat these planters as bookends, almost mirror images of each other. They sit right next to each other on the front wall, so it therefore makes sense to almost make them feel like one container. One cineraria. Now these are only half hardy. Because they're against a wall, I am hoping, and by packing them in with things, I'm hoping I can keep these over winter. I've also got my ridiculously healthy sedum Kent Bell. I've got 3 pots of this, so I'm definitely going to be able to break this up and use it. And it should sort of start to spill over the edge. And just to carry on the colour from the Erica, I've got these adorable little violas. Really sweet. I picked these up on sale a few weeks ago from Dobbies. So you can see £1.74 for a tray, and they're called Violet Raspberry if you're looking for them. Ericas are acid loving, so we're definitely going to need to use some ericaceous compost. If you can find some peat-free ericaceous compost, brilliant, use it. They make really good ones with bracken. Anything like that is far better than a peat-based version. It is renewable, sustainable. Please use an alternative if you can. So I dug out a little scrape there for it to go into. Added some of the ericaceous compost. And then I'm just going to top up round it with some more ericaceous compost. So I'm going to tuck these in quite close because I'm hoping that the other plants will help protect the growing point so that they actually do survive the winter. You can see I'm slightly pushing these as far into the corner as I can, but then slightly angling the plant forward. Always look for the front of a plant. The way it's been grown by the nursery will mean that it has a front. The way that it was pointing towards the sun, its best side. Always try and use that best side. It's very rare that you'll get a plant that has a face that is its best face, and then if you try and turn it the other way to encourage it to grow the other way, that it will actually ever recover its shape. That's particularly true with shrubs. Never expect a shrub to be able to correct itself. When I say that these plants won't do much growing over the winter, I don't mean don't feed them. I'm just popping some slow release granules in. I'm bringing these 2 cinerarias in almost at the end, but not quite. I want space to just pop a plant in at each end. I think it's probably going to be the sedum. Normal multi-purpose compost going in now. Again, peat-free. Right. Try and unpot this one. Ooh, blimey. The lovely thing about sedum is that even just a little stick will reroot itself. To divide this fairly carefully. I've taken half the clump away and I can see that I've got 2 plants there, so I can split that root ball again and try to see what was its best way up. Probably that way. This towards the back into this corner, and then repeat with the other piece, although this is possibly a slightly bigger clump. Be gentle, but don't worry too much if bits break off. You can either tuck them into here to beef up these plants, or stick them in a pot and let them grow on over winter. They'll be absolutely fine. So this pack of violas also claims to be raspberry, but as you can see, that one's quite similar, but the ones towards the back here are much paler. I don't mind that. But what I'll do is I'll make sure I mix up the flowering colours between the two baskets, so I don't end up with all of this slightly more violet colour on one side and this more berry colour in the other. And considering these are reduced, they're really flowering well. I've just been deadheading them regularly and they're absolutely fine. So don't be turned off by a reduced plant at the garden centre if you know what you're looking for. You can get yourself something that will go on for the whole season. Here between the two cineraria, and I'm going to put in some more seeding. So this is the other half of the clump that I dismembered earlier. Wow, it's going to look amazing before. Try to remove a few bits. Sounds insane. I'm just trying to thin it out a little bit. It's so delicate that you are inevitably going to break bits off anyway. I'm going to call that one done and attempt to replicate it on this one. Right, I do believe that is those two completely done. Let's see if I can give you a little look at them here. I think they're going to look lovely. So I'm going to put those out on the wall now and give them water and then let you have a look at them in their final place. There we go, that's my two refreshed baskets. Just draining off after their rinse. I gave the wall a good wash down, gave the window a bit of a wash down, and now the baskets are just going to settle in and hopefully get growing a little bit. Right, that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to rate, share and subscribe to me here on YouTube, and until next time, bye.